Hi everyone, happy Sunday. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I hope you're enjoying your weekend wherever you are. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that we are the source of our emotional experience. We are the source of our experience of life. And actually what creates so much of our unhappiness and suffering is the unawareness of that fact. Because we think that things are happening to us, events are happening to us, that other people's behavior harms us or causes us pain. And that is why most of our focus, in order to get out of that pain, is on trying to force or convince other people to change their behavior or to change the circumstances in our lives. And in the last 7 years, through my awakening and a kind of transformation that I've been going through, where I've been questioning absolutely all assumptions, definitions, and values with which I was raised. And I was raised in several cultures, so it wasn't just my own upbringing, but I was able to observe that no matter what culture in which we were raised, our human experience is really quite similar, with slight variations to race and gender and ethnicity and things like that. But overall, I feel that all of us who feel stuck and who feel unhappy in our lives are mostly because of our disempowerment as to our ability to affect change in our lives. So, for example, the article that I published yesterday spoke about the fact that women increasingly in the last several generations have been proclaiming the need for change and demanding change. And of course, patriarchy is a systemic, it's a system, and in order to change it, a lot of structures need to be changed, dismantled, redone, rewritten, rethought. But the gist of my article was that we don't realize to what extent we've internalized patriarchy. And this is actually what has been, what I've been working on in my own life when I woke up to the fact that I was very unhappy and that something was missing in my life and that I was deeply unfulfilled and unsatisfied. I started blaming and projecting my own dissatisfaction onto people in my life. I blamed my parents for raising me in the wrong way. I blamed the country in which I was born, the Soviet Union, for its totalitarian regime, and that I was conditioned to keep my mouth shut and that it was dangerous. And I thought that if only my mother was more empowered as a woman, I would have made different choices. And if only my partner was this, and if only my children were that, I would have been happier. And what I realized quite recently, after many years of rebelling and yelling at the top of my lungs about all the unfairness of the way of my life, I realized that whatever change I need to create in my life has to come from me, and that nobody is really there anymore to hold me in disempowerment, that it is up to me to take my power back, to claim my voice, to claim a space, to take my power back and to start initiating the changes that I wanted to come from other people. And today, as I become the model and the source of change in my own life, I observe all of my relationships changing, and the people who I so wanted to change so that I will feel better and freer and safer are only starting to change now, because me standing in my own truth, me standing in my own empowerment, has become an invitation for everyone else to step into their power and their truth. So what has been incredible is that I no longer needed to have anybody change for me to change. I took the power into my own hands. I started initiating the change that I wanted to see. Nobody was going to come to me and say, you look tired. Why don't you take some time off? It wasn't my mother. It certainly wasn't my mother-in-law. It wasn't my partner, and it wasn't my children, right? It wasn't my children who were going to come and say, Mom, you look tired. Why don't you go away for 2 weeks, right? Nobody wanted me to go away. They loved me being there and taking care of everyone. So in frustration, what I claimed and wanted to see from other people is something that I wasn't giving myself. So when I started making choices that possibly weren't very popular among the people in my life, but I chose to choose me, my needs, my health, my peace, my happiness. And what I realized is that, of course, everyone in my life thrived from my thriving. As I became happier, everyone benefited. So today, as I am the embodiment of change that I wanted to see in my life, I serve as an invitation to everyone else to step up. So my relationships have been shifting with me, and in ways I couldn't possibly have foreseen. But I'm today basking in that glory of observing that magic of the way the energy moves, but that it has to start with us. So when I stepped up and became the person I wanted to be in my life, my relationships followed. And of course, not everybody has their own speed of change, and everybody has their own path. And some relationships will, not survive in the container that I, was in habit to have them. But in these last several weeks, I've been observing that when we become the person that we admire, everyone else is receiving an invitation to change. So we cannot force anyone to change, and we cannot make anyone change, but we can certainly become a model for change, and then people who are important, or to whom we are important, will either see it as an invitation or not. But at least my work in my life is done in that I have entered into relationship with myself, where I feel empowered, increasingly happy, and have become a model for behavior for everyone in my life, my children, my partner, my friends, and my clients. So just wanted to share with you once again that we are the source of our experience. And until we step up into our own standard and values that are important to us, nobody else can do it for us. But once we do, everyone else seemingly steps up to be on our level. So just wanted to share this with you. I hope this resonated. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below or in private messages, as usual. And I wish you a beautiful Sunday and a beautiful upcoming week. And see you next Sunday. Thank you for joining me.